Uncompromised beats.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Hanging with JK.
Yeah! I don't think these guys liked the video. They all left right when we said hi.
She's still here.
Thank you, Briggy.
She don't know where she's at.
Like, huh? Briggy, how has YouTube changed your life?
Oh, wow.
I know for me personally, it has completely changed my life. Like, completely. Like, I had a full-on paradigm shift because before entering anything YouTube, I just thought, okay, this is your life path. This is what my parents kept telling me. So this is what I have to do because that's what works. And there is no deviation from this path. And that's all I knew. And then, you know, owning your own business, starting your own company, I always thought it had to be brick and mortar. I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna, how am I gonna afford a building?
Where are you gonna buy bricks from?
Yeah, where am I gonna buy and mortars? Yeah. And I had no idea that you didn't even have to have a brick and mortar to start your life. When I saw YouTube and people making money off of YouTube and their passions and not having to answer to anyone, and they controlled their own destiny in terms of what they were putting out there, I was like, what the fuck, this is so cool. And it just completely changed everything for me.
When we first started YouTube, we didn't know it was gonna be a life changer.
I told you, it's the best one.
So it was just something where me and Joe were going to school full time, and then we were like, let's make funny videos, and it was just something that was really, really fun, and it was something we're really passionate about, because now every Saturday and Sunday when we're off from school, instead of hanging out with the homies, we're like, let's get together and shoot some funny shit. And then my dad was like, dude, you're so fucking gay, because why are you hanging out shooting videos in a bedroom with your homie when you should be outside like making friends of the female specimen? And I'm like, Dad, you don't understand, this shit ain't gay, this shit's fun. And we would just keep shooting videos, and it was just something that, like, it was just another outlet to be creative. And at the time, you think of YouTube as like this weird platform. It's like MySpace, it's kind of like Facebook, but I don't really know what it is. But now I look back in retrospect, and it was just another canvas for an artist, and I didn't even know that I was an artist. And then fast forward until today, now our entire lives and businesses are built on it, and that's kind of what saved me from the original school that I was going to, because I was going to school to become a doctor thinking that that's really what I wanted, but that's not really what I wanted. What I really wanted to do is make these gay videos that my dad calls it with Joe every Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I think for me, I was a little bit more set on wanting to become some type of business owner or entertainer. But I was like in limbo, because realistically, you know, for most people, they know that starting a business or any of those things are like, it's really hard to do, especially when you don't know anyone that's doing it. And it just seems so far out of reach, and it's just a dream, right? Here's a little chance. It's like YouTube, and then we started doing things and we tried, but it's like we don't really see any real success. It's like $100 here, a couple views there, and you don't know if it's ever gonna turn into something where it's sustainable. It's always been a dream of mine to go out and just create and build and make a living off of this stuff, whether it's in the arts, whether it's acting or anything. I just like to express and create, and whatever I had in my mind, I wanted to build that and then make money off of it. I think YouTube was the medium that fit me well. And I finally found that bridge between audience and me.
Joy, you look like prostitute.
Because of that though, I feel like, crap, this is crazy how I have an idea and I want to make this happen. I can make anything happen. And then you start building like this confidence where it's like, you know what? I do have what it takes to go out there, and whatever I believe in I can do, I can fucking do that shit.
Okay, so this is what it was. So, full-time student. I was helping run my parents' business. I was also a youth pastor at a church, and then on top of that, I was trying to stand comedy and music. What time did I have to myself? I had to give up a majority of these things. So one of it was stand-up comedy. I gave up music, and I gave up all this other stuff. And even a backstory to that, what happened was that I told my dad, like, yo, I'm stressed. I can't do this anymore. And he and I were butting heads so much. He goes, well, why don't you just listen to what I'm going to tell you what to do, and then you'll be a lot happier. So like, fuck it, take it all. And so I gave up all this stuff. But what happens is, like, when you have a passion, it always draws you back.
True.
So YouTube allowed me to do my version of what stand-up was without having to go to these comedy clubs every weekend and sacrificing that time. Is just create it in my own space and then see what happens. The Alexander Wallace video happened and it blew the fuck up, and then next thing you know, I'm in LA.
Use American manners.
Man, what the? For me, it was more of how it changed my life was more that it gave me a different outlet to be creative versus this one path that somebody said. So if you guys don't know traditionally in stand-up, it's like you go to that fucking stage every time until somebody says, hey, you're worth something. So what YouTube does, it allows you to bring it to the people. You get to value if I'm worth something to you.
You get to cut out the middleman.
You completely cut out the middleman. No one man is gonna tell you you're worth something. It's the people that get to judge you on that.
What about you, Tiff?
The way how YouTube has changed my life, it changed it completely.
You met the love of your life.
I met the love of my life through YouTube.
Changed your chola ways?
Changed my chola ways. Nah.
Nah, still there.
Nah, for life, ese.
Forever. La vida loca.
This is my chola coming out right here.
Look at my Sharpie collection. Come on.
No, it definitely changed my life completely because now, before YouTube, and then I compare it to who I am now, you wouldn't even recognize the other Tiffany. Like it personally changed me. Like I feel a lot more confident. I have like an amazing group of friends. It's just my life completely changed through YouTube, and especially since we started the channel, I've always felt like there was no creative bone in my body ever. But then ever since starting the channel, then that's when I got to realize like I am creative. Like there is things that I can create and I can be proud of and show the world, and through YouTube too. So that's definitely, and not only that, but it made the world a lot smaller. Like being in YouTube, like I can walk out the street and there's people that recognize me and I'm like, whoa, like it's so crazy how small the world is now through YouTube.
What about for you, Jess? Someone that kind of just like started scratching the surface of this
Yeah,
world.
I mean, I guess I'm not really a YouTuber right now, but I'm dating one, and I think it's
best thing that
it-
ever happened to you.
I came from being a corporate kind of person, so I got a master's degree, worked as an auditor. It was very boring, and for the longest time, that was the track that I was on. I never thought I would veer from that track. I never thought that anything else was really gonna work for me. When I watch YouTube videos, I'm like, oh, this is funny, this is cool. Like they're so lucky like that they figured out how to make that work. But it's really, I don't think you guys are lucky. I don't think there's like something that's like special necessarily. Like you guys just did it. That's like he was saying, like you don't have to be like this amazing person that's better than everyone else. You just have to have the drive to do it. And
Just
so
have to create an account.
it's showing, so it's showing me that like even though I don't feel special, like there's still like some girls that'll comment and they're like, oh, you're so like, you made me so happy today, like I loved you in this vlog, and so it kind of makes me realize like I don't feel special, but to someone else I can still be special, and like I am kind of important to people who see my situation and the things that I've done and how I left the corporate world, and I was so scared to do that, but I did it anyway, and things are still going well. Like there's more to life than just the one path that you thought you were supposed to be on, and so I'm starting to kind of see that like it's okay to try different things, and so yeah.
It's a very extreme group.
It was
though.
yeah.
Like, it's like, there's no like
Yeah.
training wheels. Like it's like you went from I want a
The
pet.
fucking
Well, cool.
300.
Here's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You know, like it's like I was like, oh shit.
You know what's crazy is listening to you speak. I've actually, or both me and Gio have, we've experienced the same thing twice. So when we first did JK, we were kind of like, the lack of confidence people were like, okay, this is the type of content we want to create. Are people going to like it?
Yeah.
Who cares? Let's just make content that we feel like is missing and we're passionate about. And we started building that. And then through that, once JK got a little bit stable, there's all these comments that are like, Bart, how do you train? How do you work out? Can you train me? What type of program are you on? And I'm like, I'm not a fitness expert at all. I'm not a personal trainer. I don't have any licenses or degrees or anything like that. But because of all those requests, I was like, well, I guess I gotta start a fitness YouTube channel to kind of share my journey. and I started sharing my journey. And then after that, I was like, hey, you know what? Let's try out powerlifting, because I've been training for so long and I want to see how I measure up with the rest of the world. I did my first powerlifting meet, and then after that, a bunch of people started joining powerlifting, and I was like, hey, there's no powerlifting gym in LA. So once again, we started again, and we're like, let's start another business on YouTube, which is Barbell Brigade. I changed my Bar Kwan channel to Barbell Brigade, and then now we have an actual brick and mortar gym, going back to what you're talking about. So it's crazy to, like, even when you're on YouTube, and that's kind of with Tiff too, like, she was already on YouTube on Just Kidding News, but once again, she was able to experience that complete new revolution again, building your own channel. And like, who knows where it's going to lead to. We might end up having like 3 or 4 channels, like you're doing more stuff like Living Out Loud. It's just, that cycle just keeps continuing, but every time you do something new, it becomes that much more refined and that much better. And you just keep blowing your own mind. You're like, wow, like I started from a piece of shit and I was a little bit better, and now I'm doing even more stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I hella appreciate that I found someone who has friends who are super creative and just... No, I think you guys really define go for broke. Because you guys just go for it. There's no hesitation. You guys do your best. And I just love seeing that, because I think it's very inspiring. Like, you see videos that's been edited and you wonder, like, is it really that much? Like, do they really work that much? But behind the scene, you guys work so hard. You guys always think about how to make it better. You guys do your best. You know, there's no like, oh, let's just take a break and not do this. It's always so inspiring to see you guys. And that kind of really motivates me. It's like, wow, these creative people, so many creative people in one spot doing their best to make the best out of their life. That's quite inspiring. And
How come you don't say this to me in private? Huh?
And I love that David has those kind of people around him, because I think that's just...
Because he's lame without them, yeah.
Exactly. No, because I think he's one of the... He's like that. Every time I'm with him, he's always talking about how to be a better person, how to do better at his job, you know, what to do to make things better in his life. And it's just... I love that motivation. Yeah.
I met Mariel. She worked as a PA for a sketch of mine, so that could have been one of you.
Ew.
Damn. Holler.
Could have assisted David.
I know. And
I didn't date him because of that, though.
She didn't
Well, what are you trying to say?
It just doesn't even matter.
What I'm saying is that she didn't give 2
special?
shits about me.
What YouTube does is it helps people believe in themselves. That whatever idea that they have, they can make it come to life. And you don't have to be the most creative person or the most talented person. I feel like everyone has the power to create. If you can fucking put on clothes, you're creating your style. That's you communicating to the world. This is my fucking art.
So one of the things that I hate, and every time I do a show, like I always end it with this, and it's always like, I'm not a creative person. You know, what can I do? And I think that's absolute bullshit. And the reason why I say that is because you define your existence as so small, and I think the reason why is because people tell you you're this small. And how I'll put that in perspective, and I think it's something that I walk away with every day, is that just because you don't think you're unique, it doesn't mean that it's not true. And how you can think of that is that 1,000,000 years before you and after you, there will never be another you, ever. Period. End of fucking story. There will never be another you. That is how unique your fucking existence. That's how unique your story is. From the moment you started walking or you came out of your mother's womb, nobody has your story. That's how special that is.
Well, you made me feel really special right
Thank
now.
you.
That's what it is. And so you take this creative space, and where you're allowed to do whatever you want, you'll start to realize how unique your story is. You know, you may think that you have a mundane life. My life is not that unique. I just tell great stories. I remember a lot of things that a lot of people don't see. So when I speak about these things, people are like, oh shit, I was there. That's right, it was like that. It's because I could speak well. My life isn't that much more unique than everybody else. It's how I express it. So just really think about that.
So lesson of the day, read more and then start YouTube.
What's up, mother people? I hope you guys enjoyed that video, because we've been getting a lot of questions on our Facebooks, on our emails, and on our Instagrams, and all over, asking us, do we have any advice to give you guys on how to become a YouTuber?
And I think it was really cool that we were able to share all these personal stories with you, because all of us have had a different journey, but it all kind of led us to the same place. And now we actually recorded a podcast on tips on how to start a small YouTube channel and how to make that a viable business. And me and Joe are on it, and so is Kong and Arya.
Yeah, and you guys can go check that out in the description below. We're gonna leave a little link there. And we had this podcast open last month, and people were just like, you gotta bring that back because I missed it. Well, here's a second chance. Go check it out. Clickety click, 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 and watch.
So if you're really serious about building a YouTube channel, go in the link below because there's a dope free video podcast that we put out.
Hope it helps because I know it made me help.
Me too. And also on the, I couldn't figure out a word to rhyme with help. Bye.
I learned from Simple Pickup and Arya.
Lollipops.